everyone, how are you? Hola, hola. It's Farouk here
and Nat.
And we're here for our third life?
Yeah.
Third life together. Yeah, it's very cool.
Very cool.
We're just gonna give you guys a few minutes to wait for more people to tune in.
Yeah, before we get started. So while we wait, welcome everybody that is joining now. I just have to point out the elephant in the room. Farouk's curls look amazing today, right? So, can you tell us what you used?
Your amazing talented hands to start with. And I actually washed my hair this morning with our clevercurl cleanser, blonde shampoo, and I styled it with curl cream and humid weather gel. That gel is my favorite.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
I love it. Yeah. Today is also a very, very special day. Like we've been announcing, we have a very, very, very important and special guest.
We do.
And it's Angela Sculptures. And she's one of our favorite stockists from Melbourne. And she's an incredibly talented hairdresser.
Yes,
and
she sure is.
We're very happy to have her join us today for our Instagram Live. So it's gonna be awesome.
It is. We've actually had the pleasure of meeting Angela before. I think it was February that Angela came and did a masterclass, one-on-one masterclass with myself and her colleague as well, Hair Daddy. If you know anything about Daddy, you should definitely go check out their Instagrams. But yeah, we had the pleasure of meeting them for 2 days, which was awesome. We had heaps and heaps of fun. They're brilliant curl specialists, so definitely go check out their work. And if you're in Melbourne, you're one of the lucky ones, you can definitely go and book an appointment with them.
Yeah, what I love the most is the amazing creative styles that she come up with for her curls.
Yeah.
I wish I had that creativity or even like being brave to, I don't know, go pink or bright purple or something like that.
Yeah.
It'd be amazing.
Or just do like a side piece and shave and do all those really cool patterns. That'd be awesome.
Just the one side.
You would rock it.
I did that like 2 years ago in Spain, both sides shaved.
Yeah.
I liked it.
It was a vibe.
No, I loved it. It was just like there was a month or two where the growing stage was a little bit complicated because you know you had to let it grow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did like it. I loved it actually. Yeah.
We've all done crazy stuff, hey?
Yes, that's true.
Alexis Farouk would so rock that.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
You have to show us pictures. Post it on the stories.
Okay. I'm going to post that one. And also, there's a photo of me as a baby in the sand at the beach with like really long curly hair, less than a year old. And that's one of my favorite pictures because nothing's changed since. I'm still going to the beach and with the
still
curls.
Rocking those curls. So welcome everyone that has joined. For those of you that have just joined us, we will be going on a split live with Angela Sculptures, who is a clever curl stockist and curl specialist over in Melbourne, Victoria. So very exciting stuff. We are super keen to jump on with her because we have a couple of questions for her.
Yep.
Oh yeah, she's just commented now. Hi guys, I have requested. Okay, let's go into the request. Oh.
And we wait, right? Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a little while. Last time I did this, it took a minute. Ah!
Hi guys.
See you.
Hi Angela, how are you?
I'm good. I see you guys too, and your hair is definitely really amazing, Farouk.
Oh, thank you.
It sure is. Your hair looks incredible. You've put a little bit of purple in there since we saw you last.
Yeah, just a little bit. I'm growing out my natural, so I'm trying to like blend it in with the pink.
Oh, it looks awesome.
Nice. Love
And
it.
you recently had your hair cut by David, didn't you, at one of
Yes.
the Melbourne masterclass?
Yes, it was absolutely amazing. It was such a, I did cut it a little bit shorter later on, but it has nothing to do with my with David. I loved it.
Just got to get the scissors in there.
Yeah.
Hey?
You can't help it. Sometimes you just gotta do it. Sometimes.
Yeah, I was like planning to cut it off. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So we have a few questions for you. But before we get stuck into the questions, do you want to tell everyone that's on the live a little bit about yourself and sort of how long you've been doing curls for?
Yeah, so about 1 year. No. So sometimes I feel a bit old when I'm saying like how long I'm doing hairdressing. Like I remember when I was just a baby hairdresser,
Yeah.
and people been asking like, so how long have you been doing hair? And I was like, oh, you know, about like 2 years while I was doing just a month of hairdressing.
Yeah.
But now I feel like I'm getting to this over 10, 15 years point of like hairdressing. Then I'm like, oh yeah, you know, about 10 years. So yeah, about between 10 and 15, 20 years about doing hair. And I think I did like do curls quite from the start. I think so, about like maybe 5 years in, and I think because I've got curls myself, yeah, I just was like, oh hey, it's really difficult, it's really hard. So I kind of like, as a hairdresser, I went into curls. I dived into that realm straight from like hairdressing. So now I'm doing hairdressing in Melbourne. It's very exciting. So I'm doing hairdressing at my friend's salon, Unicorn Mains.
Yes.
Amazing space.
Oh, the salon
Very
is
nice.
so beautiful and bright.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. It's really a happy place to work at, actually.
Oh, wonderful. So for those, for everyone that has joined, definitely go check out Angela's work. It's the Instagram tag is Angela Sculptures. That's correct, isn't it?
Yes.
And you have pages. Do you have one specifically for curls and one for all the other amazing work you do? Yeah.
Yes. I think it's just a bit easier for people who are really into the curls, just kind of like find their way and find different styles instead of like have to dive into all the greens and the blues and the rainbows. So it is amazing, of course, but if you're looking for curls, you can go to Curly Sculptures.
Perfect. Alrighty, so we might jump into the questions. Are you happy to ask them, Farouk?
Yeah, for sure. Before that, once again, thank you so much for joining.
Yes, thank you.
I'm excited.
Here. And okay, so you just touched a little bit of the subject just before. So the first question is, what is the beginning of your curl journey like?
Oh yeah, I touched that
like
a little bit already, did I?
Or when you were younger, like, did you struggle with it? Did you love your hair?
Massively.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize I had curly hair, I think, up to like my late 20s. I just thought I had fluffy, straight hair that didn't want to be maintenance. I was like, okay, so I didn't even realize, and I think there wasn't much information out there for people with curly hair. And yeah, and my family, like my mom doesn't have curly hair at all, so we brushed it a lot. A lot.
Yeah, it's one of the mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just didn't even realize up to like late 20s that I didn't have curly hair. So, but I definitely have.
Definitely
do. So you said it happened in your 20s.
Yeah.
What helped you embrace your curls? Like, did it happen in your 20s or recently?
Yeah, I think like I realized at one point I had curls, but I was still kind of afraid to show them. I think a lot of curly people are just a little bit, I don't say ashamed, but like a bit afraid to show like the real colors, right, of your hair, because I think coming from the 90s and coming from early 2000s, like straight hair has been such an influence. Like look at like Jennifer Aniston. That was such a big influences in the 90s. So people were stringing their hair. So I was doing the same. So I realized I had curls at one point, but I was quite scared to show them. And to know, and actually I didn't really have the right tools to really set them properly, to be honest.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like I was the same as you as well, Andrew. Like I thought that I had the same, like straight but fluffy, weird. Like I used to call my like frizz wave. You know, I didn't know what to really do with it.
Yeah.
And because I was working in a salon full time, of course, as hairdressers, we have to have good hair. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was the same as you. I just straightened it because that was what everybody did back then. Until, you know, there was more information out there in the world to how to look after them.
Yeah, also, and I think it just got more accepted. You say?
Yeah, straighten it and very short, just never embracing them. And then my two brothers, they both have brown straight hair. They don't have curls.
Yeah.
So they used to say that I was adopted because of that.
Yeah. In Holland, we used to say that you're from the milkman. If you have different.
Yeah, that's right. Oh gosh. Yeah. Oh well. We've all been there for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Straight hair. Okay, so talking a little bit more about your journey as a hairdresser. At the beginning of your career and throughout your career, what was your approach to curls then?
Yeah, I think I was always quite interested in curly hair. I think it's just because I think it's just such a creative, it's a bit more of a creative process than just cutting it wet and being quite structured. While with curly hair, you can be structured, but there's a bit more creativity in it. So I think I was always quite interested in it. And I had my clientele as well in Holland when I was used to work in Holland. So I had my clientele in there. I think I just lacked a little bit the right products, if that makes sense. So I feel like the cutting was alright. I just like styling wise, I feel like back in the day I could, looking back for it now though, it's supposed to be way better with styling, I think.
Yeah, styling.
But I definitely feel like you know, curlies, you have to use it as a sculpture, right? Like it's a sculpture that you can kind of like mold and cut into, while with, you know, when you got straight hair, it's just kind of like, it's really mathematical how you cut it. So I've always been really interested in the creative art aspect of curls. So loved it from a young baby hairdresser age.
I do, and it's such a piece of art, isn't it? When you cut hair, like it's just so personal. And I always like to say to my clients, there's no one else in the world that has your hair cut, because it's your curl, and your curl is so unique. It's, you know,
and I love when I was doing the course with you as well, when you were like approaching every curl, you know, as a unique situation. Like everybody is a unique person, a unique curl, and approaching it that. And I really loved how you were doing that.
Yeah, awesome.
Beautiful. So when it comes to knowledge and education, what would be the main difference between your approach back then and your approach currently?
Better styling.
The styling.
Better products. Yeah, definitely better products. Throwing my straightener in the bin. So I think
yes, please go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Look, I have to agree with you as well. Like if I was to answer that question, mine would probably be styling too, because when we're apprentices and we go through college, we don't learn any of this stuff, you know, like you are taught how to cut curly hair the way you were meant to, like cut straight hair. It's the same. And you're told to remove the water out before you apply treatment at the base and all those things, right? It's the polar opposite when it comes to curls. So I think that for me was a big dramatic change, like how much water curly hair needs, you know, and the right products as well, you know, products that don't
absolutely
make nasties like silicons and sulfates and dry alcohols. Yeah.
Absolutely. And also I think about the techniques as well. Like you were so used to using brushes and
Yeah.
tools to make hair as a hairdresser, right? To make hair sitting the way how we do. But I feel like I use my hands so much more, and I feel like my hands are my tools for
Absolutely.
curly hair. I like mold it in the way how we want to, and I'm trying to teach my clients to do the same, to actually use their hands instead of like, you know, curling irons or wands. You can definitely use a brush if you want to, but you know, your hands are just your tools, right? Like your magic tools.
That's right. So well said.
Yeah.
Very well said. I might have to take that one.
So this
Awesome.
one is going to be my favorite question.
Uh,
Could you tell us about your awesome hairstyles and what inspires you to create such cool ideas for your curls?
yeah, cool question. It's a good question. I think I like to have a teamwork, if that makes sense. Like I feel like, you know, I'm not busy with a piece of paper, right? That does not say anything to me. I feel like I'm actually busy with a human being. So I feel like they have something to say to me as well about their hair. So I'll take every information out of them, what they want and what they feel and what they can do as well. And then I feel like I cooperate, is that the right word? Yes, cooperate that in the techniques that I can do and my creativity. Yeah, to make like a teamwork, to make something together. So it's just not purely 100% me being like, oh, this is what I want on your hair, and this is what we will do. I feel like clients have an idea, and I just want to envision that for them and make it even better what they envisioned, if that makes sense. It's a really creative process, and sometimes it's a bit hard to explain exactly what you do. And some people do give you free hands in what you do, but mostly I feel like it's a teamwork, what we do together.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I know David always says it, like it's collaboration, you know.
Yeah.
And you're always working with that client. It's a conversation, and you know, I often say in the classes too that, you know, we can learn a lot from our clients sitting in the chair. They're the ones that have been working with us for, you know, however long. You know, so I have definitely picked up a lot of tips and tricks from my clients, which I just appreciate so much. So it is that sort of two-way conversation.
Yeah, I agree. Did I answer your question, Farouk, or did you?
Yes, you did. You did for sure. But like you said that you recently just went and cut a little bit more, right?
Of my own hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you just wake up one morning and you're like, oh, I feel like some more color, or I just want to change shade? Like,
Are we talking about my hair? Yeah. I try to be not too impulsive about my hair because I get a bit scissor happy, and I'm trying to grow it since I'm like 16, and it's keeping going shorter. And I have a bit of a pass with my hair at the moment, so I'm having a bit of a mixture between curls now and having dreadlocks. So, but yeah, I think. Yeah, try not to be impulsive too much. But I do like to shave bits, and I think it's just such a feeling situation. I do kind of wake up feeling like today is the day that I just need to see a bit more of my face.
I love it.
Yeah.
If I had the skills, I would do so much.
Yeah.
It's just one of it's really a crown that you wear, and you can just do whatever you like with it.
Yeah, thank you. I do really love my hair. I wish my hair was up to like here, but one day.
It's always the way though, right? Like I'm growing my hair at the moment. I'm like, I want long hair, but you know, now I'm like, but do I want short? Like,
yeah, it's such a battle, isn't it, between having like long hair and short hair?
It's an eternal battle.
Yeah, that's what I feel like too. And so I'm like, okay, I'll just shave a bit, so at least I've got something short, and then leave some bit long, so I've got the best of both worlds.
That's it. Perfect.
Love it. Okay, so the next question is a little bit more technical, I guess. When it comes to your work, what are your go-to techniques? when you are working
Yeah.
with curl?
Yeah, I feel like it depends what kind of type of curl I have in my chair. But mostly I think about 80% of my curls I will do definitely. I love to rake the products in, just to separate a little bit, because a lot of curls have the webbing in their neck area, and I'm not always using a brush. If it's really bad and I've got dense hair, I will use a brush, a wet brush, to get the webbing out. And then I just rake it through and make sure that the products, I find it really important to get an even distribution of the products, and enough water everywhere. So raking is massively, and mostly I get them upside down because I feel most curlies want volume, right?
Absolutely. It's not many that don't want volume.
Yeah, yes. So upside down, and I rake it and rake it, and I can like rake it for like a couple of minutes. Some curls work with praying hands, what I like to do. Some curls don't, because you stretch it out. It depends what people want as well with their curls. Some people want to have a bit stretched out curls, and some people want to have it a bit more kind of coiled up. Do praying hands, a lot of squish to condition, of course. That's just like, you want to hear that sound, right?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, it's squelchy noise.
Yeah.
Well.
My new one nowadays, what I'm loving, is what Nat taught me on the masterclass, is the roping in the basin.
Yes, that's amazing.
So,
and it's such a technique for us as hairdressers to be able to provide to our curl clients, but obviously one that you don't want to have to do in the shower all the time. But you can do it on those refresh days, around those little pieces around the face or whatever, and it just like defines the curls so beautifully. It's such a great technique.
Yeah, it's so good, and I love it in the basin as well, when you can just add the water and add the conditioner in there, and just kind of like rope the hair in the basin, and makes it really. Yeah, I don't want to use the word slimy, because who wants to have slimy hair, but it does feel so nice and seaweedy, and I think curl people kind of know what you mean with that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I think that's really good, and then I think microfiber towel, I find that really necessary to get all the moisture out. So, and you don't create frizz, although I'm not against a little bit of frizz volume. So yeah, I think that are kind of the most things what I do. Is that what you were looking for your answer?
Great. That's a great answer.
Yes.
I actually have one for you as well, Angela. For any new curlies that have joined this live that haven't really, or they're just kind of starting to embrace their curls and on this curl journey of theirs, what would be the number one advice that you would give them?
You mean for people that are just starting? Don't overcomplicate things straight yet. Like, keep it simple. And then do just the simple steps of, water, the right products, what for your hair, and you can get help for a hairdresser who can just point you in the right direction, what kind of products you want to go for. I lost my train of thought. Like, go to the right hairdresser. Just don't see. I was already making it way too complicated. So I think just don't overcomplicate it. Just keep it simple, and then you can always. For me, I always feel like use a little bit too much product at first, so you can actually see how much you have to use less, because sometimes if you just don't use, like, people are like, oh, I can't find the right product, but they use like this amount, and then it's not working. So I feel for myself, use a lot of water and a lot of product first, and then cut down, so you can actually see if the product is working for you. That's what my tip is to my clients, and they kind of like, they like that for newbies. Keep it simple at first, because you get so overwhelmed, I think, as a curly client who's just in that journey.
I absolutely love that advice. It's advice I give to my new curly clients too. Not that I've seen a new curly client in a while, but it is keep it simple, because there is just so much out there in
So
this world, you know.
much.
There's just so much on the internet. It's ridiculous, you know.
Yeah.
It's a bit like anything that you're looking up for the first time, not just curls. It's, you know, I know I'm really into skincare, and you can't just type skincare into Google and it, you know, you're going to find the answer. So, but keeping it simple is always the best way to do it, and just think lots of water and, like you said, product and trial and error is key.
Yeah, absolutely. And if one day, if it doesn't work, don't give up. Like, there is different days, and curls are just so, they've got a mind of their own, don't they? They're like, one day they're like, I'm working with the world, and one day they're like, nah.
Right?
See you later.
Right, I know. I'd like have a random zigzag here. I'm like, where did you come from? You're not a zigzag usually, you know. So,
you're like, great timing, curls. Yeah.
So yeah, I get it. But it's all part of the ride, isn't it, in the journey? Like, you've got to just enjoy those days. Like, they're just as the best curl day you've had.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I feel like in like a really kind of like, for a newbie as well, and I think for a newbie, I think like embracing your curls is almost sometimes letting go of control. Because we're so, like, when you're younger, you're just trying to control your hair, right? Like, why is everybody's looking so kind of like in check, and why is mine like poof? So I think sometimes you just have to bring out your inner peak.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, let them do. Let them live.
Such a part of our personality, like, you know, I love
it. Absolutely.
I've got one more question. I promise it's the last one.
I like the question.
What is your favorite clever curl combo to use, and why?
Okay, so my all-time favorite is the humid weather gel. That's my all-time favorite. Because it gives like a great cast on most of curls. I feel like it's great for a reset. It's great for every weather. I know it's humid weather gel, so it's better, but it's absolutely amazing. Love it. In combo with, for my hair, I love it with the Wonder Foam.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's lightweight. Sometimes I feel like, you know, a cream for finer hair weighs it down to the Wonder Foam, and the humid weather gel is amazing. But my hair loves product, so it eats it. I can put like 5 products in it, and it's like, oh, did you do anything? So I think, Wonder Foam, humid weather gel, and the treatment. Absolutely love the treatment. Love the treatment. But I love the, is it like, can I use more? Can I have more than 2?
Of course.
Favorites.
It depends on the personality of the your hair is having one day one personality, the following day and one
because sometimes
product.
I feel like, for my hair, for example, I think after a wash day, I will definitely use the cream, because like the cream first, and then I'm using the humid weather gel. But with the reset, it's the Wonder Foam and a bit of the humid weather gel. So it just depends. Yeah, it depends like how dirty my hair is or how clean it is.
Yes.
And I think I've seen, like, I know, because I know you love the treatment, and you've recently done a post, I think a couple of weeks ago now, of you using the our sister brand Everescents Organic Hair Care. You're using the deep treatment.
Yeah.
And that was incredible. Like, those results were amazing. And
I am definitely love the deep treatment.
Yeah. And it smells like Christmas. Like, it's Christmas all year round.
It smells like home for me, because Holland put cinnamon almost like in every cookies and cake. So for me, I'm like, I'm home.
Oh gosh, that's amazing. It's amazing what smells good to people.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm using the cinnamon a lot in the salon as well, and I feel like a lot of people just love that spice in there.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's good.
So on this live, definitely go check out that post of Angela's. It is awesome to watch. The curls are just incredible after. I just loved it. I think I watched it about 3 or 4 times.
Angela,
Do I have any questions for you? Well, I feel like I saw you guys so recently, and I feel like Nat has answered all of them. But what are you guys' favorites? Farouk, what is your favorite Clever Girl product?
Well, it depends on my hair
Yeah.
and what I'm going through.
And the personality of the day.
The personality of the day, like what I wear today.
Yeah.
I love.
Oh, also, Farouk, how often do you get a haircut?
Myself?
Yeah.
Every 4 or 5 months, sometimes even more than that.
Yeah.
But then I go again and I try to chop it myself, and it's not. Yeah, Nat had to rescue me once already.
You're not allowed to unless you're a hairdresser.
See, I know.
You're in big trouble.
But I love the treatment as well. I used the treatment for months as a leave-in as well. And slowly I've been going from the treatment to rich conditioner to now the curl cream.
Yeah.
But my forever favorite is the humid weather gel as well.
Yeah, it's so good.
It is amazing. It's so easy to spread evenly from like close to your scalp and then all the way to the end, and to create a soft cast that can last for a while. And yeah, I just love that gel. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah. And what about you, Nat?
Well, I think most people in the Clever Curl world know that mine is definitely the Wonder Foam. I've actually not been using gel at all lately. I've just been going in on my wash day and doing cleanser, light conditioner, and just finishing with the Wonder Foam and air drying.
Yeah.
So I get less definition, but it feels fuller, which I'm really, really loving. I'm just loving that look at the moment. But I also, when I do use gel, I've actually switched to the dry gel.
Oh. Dun-dun.
So I've gone to the dry gel because my hair has been really enjoying the humid weather.
Yeah.
So I figured if it's actually enjoying the humid weather, go with the dry gel rather than the humid gel to lock that out.
Okay.
And that's been, it just creates more of a fuller look for me again, which has been really interesting. So
yeah, and do you dry with a diffuser? Somebody asking.
Do you dry with a diffuser? Yes, only for the last 5 minutes. So I get it to about 90% dry and then just go in with the diffuser right at the end, just to create a little bit of definition and volume in there.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like absolutely with a diffuser, like some people think you have to diffuse your hair like the whole amount, but I feel like sometimes if you diffuse it like the first minute, let it set, and then diffuse the last couple of minutes, you save you so much time and you don't have to sit like this for half an hour, right?
Absolutely, because that can't be good for our necks.
No.
Yeah. I have a child.
In a little bit and then let it dry. And now that winter is coming, and I'm not a winter person, being from the Caribbean, I'm gonna be using more and more the diffuser because I don't like to leave the house with my hair wet. Just like a tiny bit, just enough.
Yeah. To get that more bounce. And Nat, do you feel like now your hair is growing longer that you need all the products in your hair? I've got all these questions.
Yeah, you're right. What was the last bit to that question, Angela?
Yeah, so because you're growing your hair longer, do you feel like it has different needs, your curls, because it's longer now?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like now that it's longer, my curl has definitely stretched down a lot, being that it's got that weight in it now. So I've lost a little bit of curl definition. It's definitely gone now to more of a wave, as you can probably see. I'm dealing with these zigzags.
Zigzag.
Zigzags.
I like it. So, and it needs a little bit more love on wash day. So I have noticed that I need to push in a lot more water rather than when it was quite short. Like I used to have it up to here and it was quite healthy. I wasn't sort of colouring it as much.
Yeah.
So back then, I was able to sort of get away with the light conditioner and just squishing a little bit.
Yeah.
Whereas now I find myself now adding way more water in there and really just trying to push in as much as I possibly can. So that's probably the big difference I've noticed is been this long.
Because I feel like a lot of clients, when they go try to get their hair longer, they feel like you need to kind of switch it up, right? Like it's a different needs of curl, and you need different products and lighter products, and interesting.
Yeah. It does. I think our curls they're just constantly changing, which is the fun part of the journey. We're always having to switch it up or do something a little bit different, which is always the fun part.
Yeah. Definitely really fun.
Every time.
Yeah.
Now, we did have a question that came through as we were chatting away. We have one here. So, does Wonder Foam give you a cast? Really good question. For me personally, it does give me a really light cast in the hair. But that's because I have high porosity hair. So I lighten my hair, I bleach the ends, so product kind of sucks in there a little bit more. So I do get left with a bit of a cast, and I also air dry. So I'm not really going in there with my diffuser and using that heat and moving that hair around too much. So the cast I do get a little bit of a stronger cast from the Wonder Foam, but not enough as a gel does. So hopefully that answers the question. I had a couple of comments here. I love dry gel too. Actually, all of them. But sometimes get confused whether to go with dry gel or humid gel if the humidity is at 50%. Do you have any advice for them, Angela?
I feel like just go for the humid weather then, because even if there's a little bit of water in the, if it's humid a bit, there's still water particles outside. So you want to have the humid weather gel so it can kind of protect you for that. So I think when you're doubting, go for the humid. That's my advice.
Yeah, great advice. If in doubt, humid.
Yeah. Yeah. Melbourne is pretty humid.
We've got another comment here. That is brilliant. I find that I lose curl definition with a diffuser. What is your favorite hairdryer and diffuser?
I would dare to say, from a curly perspective, when I want to create a stronger cast, I don't bring the diffuser in. I try not to touch the curls, and I do also try upside down and all that. But if I bring the diffuser in and I start to move my hair a little bit more as it dries, the cast is less stronger. So yeah, if you handle your curls less while it's dry, whether it's with a diffuser or air drying, I find it that the cast stays longer.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. And for dryer wise, I use a really light dryer. It's called the Pro Aero Light Dryer. It's absolutely amazing. I think you used that when you were here for the masterclass too. Hey, Angela.
Yes, it's a Parlux, right? No, yeah, yes.
No, I think it's an Aero Light dryer.
Aero Light, yeah. Yeah, I have my own diffuser. I've got my own hairdryer, but Chloe, Melbourne Hair Jetty, used that one.
Yes.
Yeah. And I believe they even have 2 of them now in the salon, so they loved it.
Wow, that's the one I use. I love it.
Yeah.
So, such a beautiful design as well, and very easy to handle, super light.
It's super light. Yeah, they look like 2 guns.
Yeah.
They're blow drying with like 2 diffusers at the same time.
Oh yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
It really means a lot to us.
It was so much fun. Thank you for having me.
And you're such a great stock. It's like I know that when you came on board,
years ago now. Like, I've just been following your journey through clevercurl, and it's just incredible to see your work. It's just amazing. So I definitely encourage everyone that's on this live to go check out Angela's work. And if you're in Melbourne, you are definitely one of the lucky ones.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm actually really stoked to be part of the team, and I feel like it's so nice to actually know, the people behind the products. It's just so nice to actually know the company and the people behind the products that I'm stocking, and I can actually, have the story about you guys, and actually in Australia, like, owned and made. It's just, it's really close to my heart. Thank you so much for having me.
That is so sweet.
Thank
you so much.
Absolute pleasure, Angela. You enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll chat to you soon.
You too. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.